Good evening and welcome to the 2021 State of the City Address. 2020 was a year that no one was able to predict or plan for. What makes our community great is how we came together to make sure everyone was able to get what they needed, especially food. Crosspoint Biker Church fed over 60,000 warm meals to the community. The Fayette County Farmers Market received grants to help increase food to the community, and volunteers gave many hours to help. The Fayette County Food Council secured over $1 million in food and volunteer service hours from gleaners and the USDA Farm to Family fresh meal boxes to help pantries, human service organizations, veterans, churches, low-income housing complexes, and other community partners. Food was handed out to over 11,200 households. McFarling brought in 99,000 pounds of food valuing $270,000. Prairie Farms gave 4,320 gallons of milk. Gleaners donated 501,755 pounds of food. The Hatch program brought 4,945 dozen eggs distributed to 9 food pantries, soup kitchens, and low-income housing. Restaurants, not knowing how they were going to survive, donated food to those in need. When it comes to taking care of one another in our community, we excelled. COVID also presented TV3 with an opportunity to shine. When sports seating capacity was limited, they stepped up with more live viewing opportunities. Other communities were able to watch the games live that normally would not have been able to because they don't have this great service like we do. At the end of 2019, before being sworn in, a marketing strategy to bring attention and investments to Connersville was implemented. That strategy began paying off early on, even with COVID impacting us in a major way. There have also been 2 major national events that were tragic yet provides an opportunity for us. We saw early on the opportunity to draw individuals and businesses alike away from highly crowded cities to small urban settings due to those events, along with government policies that have frustrated businesses. Building a marketing strategy to those individuals and businesses is what we are focused on. We have already had investments in new housing from developers, new commercial buildings being finalized. RDI opened here and is growing. Commercial developers currently are designing on the north end. A business from another state moving operations here. Click Studios was purchased and is doing well. Wings Etc. opened. A new Dollar General being built on the east side. The old Kmart has been purchased and being torn down. The old Hackman Heat building downtown is under new ownership and has businesses operating once again. When a potential developer comes to Connersville, they are handled a specific way, showing them the opportunities to invest here. Nothing is done by chance. Rather, a focused strategy on listening to their model and what their goals are. Then, I personally drive them around, showing them where the opportunities might be, allowing them to see how their model will fit. We increased our social media presence for every department to get information out to the public quickly. 2 Minutes with the Mayor was started to highlight our assets and to better attract businesses and people to our city, along with being a way to give information to the public. This has become a highly viewed program that has been shared not just locally, but all around the nation. Connersville Job Postings was created on Facebook to connect employers with employees. Once a post is made, it is then shared regionally by targeted entities who have specific and far-reaching capabilities. We partnered with the county to create a website that is fresh, modern, and user-friendly. It had to be launched early due to our old, outdated website that was no longer serviceable being attacked, ultimately shutting it down. Once the new one is fully functioning, you will be able to make payments, access a community calendar, get information, and view pictures from events. We partnered with the Region 6 area in 2 areas to help understand our needs and to help make not just Connersville, but the entire region grow. I was approached by a group leading an initiative because Fayette County was the only county not participating in the regional meetings. Not participating in this will ultimately leave us out of economic growth opportunities and shows an unwillingness, desire to grow. Fortunately, with the assurance that my office will take charge of the task and partner with the Chamber of Commerce and Fayette County Foundation, they allowed us to complete the information needed and be part of the 21st Century Talent Region. This, along with partnering with the Eastern Indiana Works to build and implement a formal strategy that is achievable and measurable, that will help provide a vibrant community for everyone to have sustainable opportunities to flourish. We call this model the model for positive change. This is designed to connect people and businesses with opportunities that will help them thrive, ultimately impacting our community in a positive way. Right now, we are the base of a thermometer. That's not in a good way. Our goal is to change that thermometer into a good thing. It seems every time there's a list of best to worst, we are on the bottom. According to the county health rankings and roadmaps, out of 92 counties, we are 85 in quality of life, 88 in social and economic factors, and 92 in length of life. None of those are good numbers. The time to change that is now. We need to lead the way, not just to become better, but eventually best. The solar project was completed and able to get it all done last November. Utility projects included receiving a $700,000 Okra grant, completing the paint company lift station, 30th Street water main replacement, Memorial Drive storm water separation, and Timber Creek drainage ditch reconstruction project, all totaling $2,570,000. We were able to utilize the stormwater funds to purchase a street sweeper, which helps keep debris out of the sewer system. We spent time researching and demoing all of the different types of sweepers until we found a good used one that we felt would be the best for our needs. This alone in the first year removed over 100 tons of debris off the street. Why is this important? 1, to help keep the city looking neat and clean. 2, to keep that debris out of the storm sewer system, causing hours of manpower to clean the lines and keeping it out of the treatment plant. We dedicated 1 person to the downtown area to keep it clean and to maintain all the flowers. We also purchased a used UTV that will improve productivity, especially when watering all the plants, which once the sidewalk project is done, there will be more vegetation to maintain. We restarted the heavy trash pickup program to help residents get rid of large items. This program, along with the yard waste pickup, was revamped to make us more efficient. The second trash truck was sent off to have it rebuilt so the trucks can cycle out for proper maintenance. Maintenance is key to making sure our equipment lasts longer, and when one truck goes down, we have the backup ready to go so trash pickup is not delayed. The compost site has been cleaned up good now, and we have a strategy in place to make sure we are grinding regularly so the piles do not get so large and we must hire someone to come grind it. The hours for the mulching area were extended during warm weather so citizens could utilize it on Saturday. Last year, it was only open till noon, but this year, it will be open longer to help make it more accessible. The mechanics garage was revamped so it functions in a more effective and efficient way. And we purchased good used vehicles to replace old worn out ones. With the last large snow, we found areas for improvement. In 2020, we did not have as much snow accumulation to speak of, but in February of this year, we received a fairly good amount over a several-day period. We saw where the weaknesses were and are working on developing ways to correct those for the future. For many years, the only paving that has been done is with grant money and what we could use for a match. The city owns a nice paver, but no one has ever been trained on how to pave the right way. Last fall, we asked Darrell Powell if he would be willing to come train our crews on how to pave asphalt in the alley. That training was successful, so we plan on having Mr. Powell return this year to work with our crew once again so we can keep doing more paving on our own. Our police department were still driving Ford Crown Vics that were to the point of embarrassment on the road. We were spending many man-hours fixing these vehicles that continued to nickel and dime us more every week. The goal was to get us on a rotation on replacing vehicles with new ones, but we are so far behind, we found good used ones from other departments to fill the gaps until we can have a rotation plan in place. The fire department replaced the old chief vehicle with a new truck while we repaired and repainted the assistant chief vehicle. We traded for a newer engine to replace the old engine 4. We purchased new ESO software to replace the expired Firehouse software. New software gives us better reporting and mobile options like having the ability to perform fire prevention and code enforcement with the mobile software making us more efficient. The assistant chief's position was brought back after 8 years without having one. The assistant chief has already upgraded the department training with new software that partnered with Indiana Fire and Public Safety Academy. The 15-plus-year-old rescue airbag system on Rescue 21 was replaced. Finally, we received 2 grants, one for new CPR mannequins and training AEDs, and one for 3 new AEDs for the stations. The goal with each department at the outset was to provide a management structure that increases efficiency and effectiveness. Even though that is being done, we still have more to improve upon. City Hall has a new look inside as well. Most of the old paint had not been updated since the 90s, so we repainted it, making it look fresh, modern, and more attractive. We also received a COVID grant to replace the carpet with LVT flooring. This grant was also utilized at utilities, Miller Billing, EMS, and street department. When we took office in January of last year, we saw early on our property and casualty insurance loss ratios needed to be reined in. The loss ratios were for 2018, 147%, 2019, 119%, and in 2020, we were able to reduce those to 40%. This is a result of actively managing the safety program by working with insurance companies on our approach to safety and how we can be better. Board of Works member Brian Dobb will be taking over the reins leading the safety program, making sure the program not just continues, but gets better. Last year, the racial tension was extremely high in our country, with the effects of that impacting us on a local level as well. A peaceful walk was organized and held from Mount Zion Baptist Church up Park Road to 30th Street and back. Not knowing what to say or even what to do, I decided the best thing for me to do is just be there. This led to conversations about forming a group to discuss racial topics, training, and to have a group of dedicated individuals ready for action if there is an issue locally. The name of this group is Striving for Change and meets regularly at City Hall discussing a wide variety of topics. Krista Gibson is a spearhead and president of this group and is doing a fantastic job. The group has already been involved in the community, helping in huge ways. For many years, we have all heard we need an updated comprehensive plan. Many meetings have been held over several years to start the process, but always seems to fizzle out before ever moving on to the next step, which is the expensive one. We decided to drive this effort by hiring Klein Peter Consulting Group to apply for a second quarter OCA grant to help us complete this plan. This plan is critical to have done because before we can do any larger grants like Stellar, we must have this done. Klein Peter Consulting Group understands exactly how to guide us through this process so we can be competitive when we apply for large grants while giving us a guideline in the direction we want to go. We have partnered with the county, the Area Planning Commission, along with building a selection committee of key stakeholders to make sure it is not just completed and put on a shelf to collect dust, but is something we can use as a guide. COVID-19 put a halt to many things in our lives last year, including our goals. It made it difficult, sometimes impossible to meet, but we were still able to accomplish many things to help Connersville move ahead. We have much still to do, but the future is bright, and there are many working diligently to help see that happen. Thank you, and have a wonderful evening.